What is up, guys? This is Tyler from Bullseye Investing speaking. I'm starting a new segment on this channel and I'm really excited for it. Here's what it is. I'm going to take the top gainers and losers in a day, explain why these stocks move so much, and then give each stock a score from 1 to 10 for the validity of the movement. I'm calling this segment Daily Extremes, the mountain highs, the valley lows, and this is Daily Extreme number 1. I hope to post a daily extreme video every business day for the foreseeable future. And without further ado, let's get started with our first daily extreme video, and we'll start with top gainers. The first one is Abcelarella Biologic. It almost tripled today. Well, why? It was their IPO day, and it isn't that rare to see huge gains on the first day of trading compared to the initial price, especially even though not many people can get in at that price, right? And Abcelarella is developing antibody therapy with Eli Lilly. Well, I think this game was a bit of hype, right? But then again, it's their first day of tradings and IPO go up, way up relative to their initial price. So I give this a validity score of 5. It's pretty valid to see this big jump, but it is definitely hyped. Okay, the next one's pretty interesting. It is TPG, Pace Beneficial Finance Corporation, which doubled just today. Why? Well, it's a special purpose acquisition company that agreed to acquire EV Charged BV, a unit of French utility Engie SA that specializes in electric vehicle electric charging. A spike like that for that kind of news is inevitable, but I still think that this is extremely hype, and thus I give the validity a 5, okay? About a 5. It's valid that this stock went up this much, okay? But there is a lot of hype that you need to be careful of if you are to invest in this stock, and it's mediocre validity. Now we're going to go to the third biggest gainer of the day, which is 4D Molecular Therapeutics, which is yet another IPO today. It priced shares at 23 bucks a share, and it's sitting at a tidy 40 bucks a share now. Once again, an IPO, but IPOs are pretty hyped. This big gain is because they set the original price a bit low, right? And they shot up 70% today. A bit more than 70%, actually 76%. And just we have to take that into account when evaluating this stock. For that, I give it a validity score of 5, like similar to the other IPOs. Next one, we're talking about Certara, which is a global leader in biosimulation. They shot up 70% today, okay, guys? And the gainers were all swept by IPOs today, but they set an initial price of 23 bucks a share. It's sitting at a tidy almost 40 bucks a share, so huge gains. And I give this a validity score of 5. I know the gainers were swept by IPOs, but I plan to do many videos on this series, and we'll have some invalids and some extremely valid moves hopefully in the future. So these were pretty similar moves, but stay tuned for that, because now we're going to the big losers. And the big loser of minus 52.6% is Cella's Life Sciences, part of the losers category. Cella's Life Sciences. It is a biopharmaceutical company that has experienced major profit taking in the last few days, right? It's spiked up and now it's going down. Now, if you invested here, you still made money, but there is profit taking after a huge rally. Okay, profit taking with gains like that, it's expected, right? And it's bringing the stock back to a fair price. So I say this loss, it has a 7.5 validity. So it's pretty valid that this stock is experiencing correction. The next one I want to bring up is the second biggest loser, Untitled ADR. A huge winner in the past few days, right? It looks almost similar to Cella's Life Sciences, but it's also experiencing huge profit takings. Now I give a 7 validity for this, so a little bit less than Cella's, just because their news was actually very encouraging. Though losses today do make a lot of sense, profit taking, because there's a lot of hype with their news actually being released. Now the third biggest loser today is Cellavius Pharmaceuticals. Wow, a lot of biotech companies today. I noticed patterns like that coming up in our biggest gainers, biggest losers, almost all pharmaceutical biotech companies. But this one's pretty interesting. They dropped because they received a non-dilutive grant from the Cancer Prevention and Research Institute of Texas. Now, I give this drop a validity of 6, okay? Because if we look at the graph here, they were trading a bit high this past week, but then again, they did have a huge run up, and and profit taking is to be expected. So validity score of 6, because even though profit taking can be expected out of this, I don't necessarily agree with the drop today in particular, because I perceive the grant as a way for Solarius to grow, but I do think that a callback should have occurred. That's it for today's video. Please consider subscribing, and as I said, I plan to make many more of these videos and make it a daily thing to look forward to. Thanks for watching.